Hello everyone. Today we shall look into same period last year and parallel period functions. Same period last year function, it returns a table that contains column of dates shifted 1 year back in the time from the dates in the specified dates column in the current context. It takes a parameter dates, which could be ideally the date table column. The reference could be the datetime column. It may be a table expression which returns in a single column of datetime values, or it may be a Boolean expression which define a single table of datetime values. The dates returned are the same as the dates returned by the equivalent formula, which is date add function with dates minus 1 year parameters. This function is not supported in direct query mode when it is used in calculated columns or row level security rules. In parallel period function, it returns a table that contains a column of dates that represents a period parallel to the dates in the specified dates column. In the current context, with the dates shifted with a specific number of intervals, either forward or backward in time. It takes the parameters dates, number of intervals, and the interval. The dates could be reference to a datetime column or a table expression or Boolean expression, as I have mentioned in the same period function. The parallel period function is similar to the date function, except that parallel period will always return full periods at the given granularity level instead of the partial periods as that of date returns. For example, if you have the selection of dates that starts from June 10 and finishes at June 21, and you want to shift that to selection forward by 1 month, parallel period what it does is it will consider the whole month, which is July 1 to July 31. However, date add function, it include only the dates from July 10 to July 21. Okay, this is how parallel period and date function differs. This function, it is also not supported in direct query mode when it is used in calculated columns or low level security rules. Let us see an example. Here in the example, you could see there is few dates and the total sales. Total sales is the sum of order detailed sales column, which is an aggregation function. And then we shall understand how same period last year function works. I'll create a new measure. Here I'll write same period last year equal to calculate. Okay, in the expression of calculate, I shall write total sales. In the filter argument, I shall write same period last year. Within the dates, I can write calendar date and close the parenthesis, hit enter. Okay, let us bring into the table. I'll just click on it, add data, go to the measure table and select same period last year. Here you could see that for 2013, since there is no same period last year data, I won't be able to see the data. Okay, you could remember this date, July 4th. Okay, similarly, if I scroll down to the 2014, okay, here you could see the data for July 4th. Okay, here you could see the same data for July 4th for 2014. It has the total sales of 72. This same period last year for 2013 it was 440. So this is how same period last year function works, where it brings the value for the same period last year. Okay, this same output we can bring it using date add function. I'll create again another measure using date add. Here I'll write date add equal to, I'll write calculate total sales. In the filter argument, I'll write date add. Okay, in the dates, I can write calendar date, comma. In the interval, I can write -1 since I have to move backward. And interval, I'll write year. I'll close the parenthesis and hit enter. Okay, we shall bring in the measure to the table. I'll click on add data and add the date add function. Okay, here we could see that the same period last year function, it works similar to the date add function. Here for the date you could see that we have this same period last year function has 440, and this has 440. So there might be little performance related differences, but the output would be the same. Okay, I'll move on to the other function, which is parallel period function. I'll click on the measure table, create a new measure. Here I'll write parallel period equal to calculate. In the expression we shall write total sales, comma, in the filter argument I'll write parallel period. In the dates I'll write calendar date, I'll put a comma. Number of intervals, it is -1 since we have to move backward, and in interval I'll use year. Okay, this appears similar to the dateAdd function, but in the execution there is little difference. I'll explain you what is the difference. Okay, here we have made the measure. Select the table. Let us bring in the measure parallel period. Okay. Now in the parallel period, you could see that for 2013 there won't be any values appearing, because for the previous year there is no data left for 2012. For 2014 we have we have the data for 2013 available. Hence it will aggregate all the 2013 values and it will show the output for all the 2014 values. Okay, if I scroll down, the total will be appearing for all the 2014 dates, and when we shift to the 2015, you could see the aggregation changing. Okay, here you could see that the aggregation has changed for 2015. Okay, this is the sale of 2014 total. Okay, I hope you have understood parallel period. What it returns is it will aggregate the whole last year sales, and then it will show the output in all rows. You could understand the functioning of parallel period and the same period last year and data differences. Please practice. This is all for now. Thank you for watching, and we shall meet in the next video.